7 hours ago. YouTube's darkest mysteries.
Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun.
Let's get it, man. Show me on the YouTube, so if anyone wants to say hi to YouTube, y'all say what's up. The following video contains scenes that may be upsetting, distressing for some viewers. Discretion is advised. Y'all heard him, man. Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him.
August 5th, 2011.
Oma.
A channel appears on YouTube serving as a promotional page for an up-and-coming company called Aviloop, a brand that boasted unbeatable deals in the world of aviation. That same day, 4 videos were uploaded, each showcasing young women dressed as flight attendants, detailing some of the many services that Aviloop provided.
That's straight to hear.
These would be the only videos ever uploaded to the channel, as from that moment on, the page was abandoned, giving Aviloop a lifespan of just one day. The one day is all it would take to set in motion a mystery that remains unsolved to this very day. A mystery surrounding the company at the core of this channel and the services that it allegedly provided, with no one being able to answer the seemingly simple question, what was Aviloop? And the more you search for answers, the more deranged this trail becomes.
Oh gosh, what do you think's happening here?
This is the story of Aviloop, YouTube's darkest mystery.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that airline.
No catch.
Huh?
And there's no catch.
And there's no catch. Is that teeth? What the fuck is that?
So what are you waiting for, Captain?
What are you waiting for, Captain? That'd be your... Bro, this is scary. I know. I'm excited, though. Wait, let's turn off the lights a little.
Welcome to Aviloop, your collective find website for anything aviation.
The formula for Aviloop's content was simple.
Is this an actual video from that account?
A young woman stands in front of a static white background dressed in a flight attendant's outfit.
Ew.
They refer to themselves as deal attendants, and their job seems to be sharing information about this new brand, Aviloop.
We offer deals on flight lessons, pilot accessories, fuel,
Yeah, it looks like they're being forced to, like, they got a gun to their head.
FBO services,
Last
charter
about
flights,
getting off of it.
and even small aircraft.
You don't see that very often.
The brand marketed a number of unique aviation-related services, making them appear as a one-stop shop for anyone in the industry or just anyone interested in flying. Aviloop claimed to do it all, and at unbeatable prices too.
Our deals are usually 50 to 90% off.
Promoting deals of 50 to 90% off.
That's not bad.
It hardly seems like anything mysterious, just your standard subpar ad from the early 2010s. But the more you watch, the less clear it becomes what exactly Aviloop did. They left their business incredibly vague. There were no prices, no locations, and rather they just listed a bunch of flying buzzwords, offered at deals that seemed impossible.
Flight lessons, pilot accessories, fuel, FBO services, charter flights, small aircrafts.
For example, they list fuel supply among their offerings,
like trafficking,
but how are they actually getting the fuel and providing it at 50 to 90% off?
They'll be banned.
And where in the country or even the world are they offering it? It just doesn't seem realistic. What they're saying sounds fine on the surface, but the more you think about it, the less sense it really makes. It just seems too good to be true, not to mention how bizarre it is that this unknown company could come in and offer literally anything you could want that's flying related, with such exorbitant deals. Admittedly though, this is easy enough to ignore, and play off as an ineffective or even deceitful advertisement. But there was something else that was much harder to ignore about these commercials. With that being, the deal attendants themselves. Despite Aviloop claiming to be a professional aviation business, it's difficult not to notice how cheap these women's outfits appear. They're clearly costumes rather than real flight attendant uniforms, and they're clearly over-sexualized too. They're essentially dressed as fetishized versions of actual flight attendants, which is bizarre as one of the services that Aviloop claims to provide is staffing for flight crews, which would include actual flight attendants.
Oh, hell no.
Yet, for whatever reason, they chose to dress these girls in
This is a freaky ass plane. This is a freaky plane.
If they were trying to make these advertisements look professional, they were failing miserably. And it wasn't only the outfits that had a strange sexual undertone to them. It was also the script that the girls were reading.
Whether you want to learn to fly, charter an airplane, or just see more girls like me, or to see more
Oh, hell no. I already know what's going on in this plane.
girls like me, Aviloop can help. Aviloop can help. So what are you waiting for, Captain? And remember Top Gun? Clearly your attractiveness increases with every flight under your belt.
Bizarrely, the videos themselves were filled with sexual innuendos.
Yeah.
Anyone who claims that humans were not meant to fly never experienced the thrill of their own successful landing. Get ready to fly big boy airplanes.
Ew.
They were clearly
big
trying
boy.
to be more than a little flirty,
Big boy.
which goes hand in hand with the outfits that they were donning.
34,000 views?
Now, some might argue that this was a sign of the times. In 2011, edgy and over-sexualized marketing was still very much in the norm, with several major companies building their entire brands around the approach. But the only problem here is that the videos made it unclear what Aviloop was even supposed to be.
Let's look that up. Aviloop. Oh my gosh. Ashley went missing on July 6, 2004 when she was 15 years old. The video was posted August 5, 2011, which would make her around 22 at the time. The girl in the video appears to be 5'2" and 5'5" tall, matching Ashley's reported height of 5'3", and her build seems similar as well, roughly 90 to 110 pounds. She introduced herself as Ashley. It's hard to not feel that someone is playing a cruel game, testing to see if anyone's paying attention.
Offering.
That's
Despite
weird.
saying a lot, the lack of details
Rocket
made it
League?
entirely ineffective. Like the business itself was an
I'm locked in
afterthought,
on this right now.
with the focus instead being on these women. In fact, even in the channel's description, they simply wrote, "Meet Aviloop deal attendants."
Deal attendants.
This is the official page for a brand new company trying to promote its services. And that's all they had to say. That's how they marketed their entire
I
company.
made Overwatch stream, so that's chill.
Making
Alright,
some
bet.
wonder
Alright, bet, bet,
what
bet.
was actually
But I'm
the
down,
role
I'm down,
of
I'm
these
down.
deal attendants, and what was
Yo,
actually
that woman's actually a missing girl. That's so scary.
the purpose
That's
of
so
Aviloop.
scary.
The first and most likely theory at this point is that Aviloop was an overambitious company that used over-sexualized marketing to build intrigue around its brand.
I
At a
feel like a lot of people do that now, though.
time when others were
Like
doing the same
over-sexualized
thing
stuff?
to great success. Maybe they weren't even off the ground yet and over-promising on services that they hoped to one day be able to provide. But for the time being,
They're
we're just
LARPing.
throwing out there to get more people to visit their website. But with such a focus on these deal attendants, and just how strange these videos come across, some were
Those
left with a
videos are
different
fucking
theory.
weird.
That
That's
rather
a
than
fact.
Aviloop using sex to sell their service, maybe sex was their service.
What?
The theory goes that
Aviloop-
Aviloop was a front for pornography
Was a pornography site, hub for prostitution disguised as an aviation.
or even prostitution, poorly hidden under the
Oh.
guise of this fake aeronautics company.
Ew,
This would explain
ew,
the
ew.
prominence of these deal attendants, as they themselves may have been the actresses or prostitutes. And it also explains the lack of information about the company itself, as the reason their deals and services don't seem to make any sense was because they
Yo, this
weren't
face is
actually
creeping me
offering
out,
them. It was all just
Nick.
a cover-up.
Chill, bro.
And honestly, just going off the eye test, this is how the page comes across. But there are
Bennifer,
other
what's up
details
with
that
you?
make this theory a lot more compelling.
How are you?
For starters, in numerous videos, they mention an unusual feature of their website, that users can vote for their favorite deal attendant and win prizes as a result.
You can even vote for your favorite deal attendant and win special prizes.
With one of these special prizes later being revealed to be a one-on-one video call with one of these deal attendants. This
Right now it's
shows
like
that
a
the
fake
deal attendants
aviation
weren't just
airline
for
thing. It's
marketing,
scary. It's
they were a
weird.
core part of the services offered to Aviloop users,
One-on-one
making
call with
one
a
wonder
flight
what
attendant?
was
What does that
actually
even mean?
happening on those video calls.
No,
And was it
facts.
perhaps something sexual?
Oh,
And it goes even
100%.
deeper than that, as there's a reason why I mentioned prostitution specifically in this theory, with
Hmm.
that reason being a line mentioned in one of these videos.
To purchase this deal, you must hold at least a private pilot license and a current medical certificate. Don't miss out and click on that big blue button.
Medical certificate? Or is it for like STDs? I'm
You know
confused.
you want to.
The deal attendant mentions that all customers needed to provide an up-to-date medical certificate.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't something that's necessarily unheard of in the aviation
For,
world,
like,
but it
STDs
certainly
check.
isn't the norm, at least from what I could tell. But in the context of this theory, it makes perfect sense. If they truly were operating some sort of prostitution ring, then their customers having an up-to-date medical certificate would be imperative to preventing the spread of STDs.
Nah, for real though. Damn, that's
It's strange
weird,
enough to
bro.
make this theory feel legitimately possible. But even if it wasn't
I
true,
believe it.
seems obvious that there was something
weird as
off
fuck.
with this
It's
channel.
so weird.
And we haven't even discussed the strangest part of it all.
Oma.
In a few videos, you can hear unusual sounds in the background.
Oh, the moaning.
And
The
you want
moaning.
to add multi-engine to your pretty green license. This is your opportunity
What?
to do it at 50% off. Add multi-engine to your pretty green license. This is your opportunity.
Ew. 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 Ew.
Pretty green license. This is
In the background, you can hear what appears to be someone moaning
What the
in a
fuck?
blatantly sexual manner.
this.
which was loud enough for
Ew.
even the deal attendant to take notice. It's very unusual, and certainly not a sound that could just accidentally happen on a typical film set.
Which makes it all the stranger that another inexplicable noise was heard in the
Another one.
background of a different video. And this one left viewers far more distressed.
You want to learn to fly, charter an airplane, or to see more girls like me? Aviloop can help. Or to see more girls like me? Aviloop can help. Or to see more girls like me? Aviloop can help.
Some believe that this is yet another sexual moan, while others swear they can
Sounds
hear a
like it.
specific word. The word, help.
Help? Do y'all hear that, or are you hearing? Oh, I can't tell. I can't tell.
It's incredibly concerning,
You hear
especially if this prostitution theory is true. I mean, there's just so many implications to it.
Given the link between prostitution and human trafficking,
But again, this could all be part of the marketing. Maybe this was all just a ploy to get people to visit their website, roping you in
It sounded like a dude too, didn't it?
with these sexualized, creepy,
Bro,
and
this
even
is
concerning
weird.
videos
This is weird. This is weird.
that
This is
almost
weird.
demand that you dig deeper. Well, if this is the case, then surely visiting their website would help put this
Transgender-
mystery to
Whoa.
bed.
I mean, it's possible, or to just be a dude.
At the time these videos were uploaded back in 2011, those visiting the
2011
Aviloop
this
website
is
would be
uploaded.
met
Oh
with
my
a rather
gosh.
lackluster
RAI?
experience.
These were uploaded in 2011 though.
The homepage was dull and uninviting,
AI
and
wasn't
seemed
a
about
thing.
as vague as the videos promoting it. However, they did have an About section that attempted to describe the service more in depth. There, they mentioned the primary
was
goal
not
of
on YouTube.
Aviloop was safety, as they believed that making training and other aeronautic
I don't think
services
it's
more
AI.
accessible could in turn help prevent accidents, which strangely was never even hinted at in their videos, and
I
is never
gotta
mentioned
say AI.
again on any other portion of the website. But it was in this About tab that they listed even more services that they claimed to provide. Services like navigation equipment,
Maybe it's-
headsets,
how did it
and
Photoshop?
pilot
That don't even make
locations,
sense.
among many other things. Basically, anything even remotely related to flying, they sold it, or at least claimed to. And they insisted that they did so cheaper than anywhere else by using collective bargaining, a process that
that's-
they would
that's
go into
already-
detail
what?
about. Basically,
What?
Aviloop acts as a third party, partnering with aviation businesses to promote unique deals on their site. Each of these deals has a quota that must be hit for it to actually go through. So if
Damn.
enough people buy the deal, the quota is reached, and everyone gets a voucher to do or receive whatever they paid for. But if the deal doesn't reach its quota, then everyone is refunded and the deal is voided without any cost to the users or the business. Aviloop was the middleman, which could explain how they managed to offer such impressive deals and such diverse services. Though again, this is just what they were saying, begging the question, was anything actually being sold on Aviloop.com?
They were selling sex.
Well, there actually
were
was.
selling a lot
The
of
deals were
sex.
sorted by general locations,
Oh,
and
fuck.
most consisted of flying lessons, museum trips, or even temporary tattoos. However, there was
Tattoos?
something unusual about these listings.
What?
Bizarrely, almost every deal on the site was marked as completed, each having ended in 1969, which obviously wasn't possible.
Whoa, what?
There were only a
1969.
select few deals throughout the entire website's history that were ever even active, and even then, there didn't seem to be a way to actually purchase them. This end date of 1969 was either some sort of glitch, or it was intentionally set that way, as the year just so happens to be yet another sexual innuendo. So what should prove the company's legitimacy actually only makes this company seem more suspicious.
More
It was like they were
sus,
trying
more
to make it
sus.
appear as if they were selling all these different things, yet in reality they were hardly offering anything, and what they were offering
my
wasn't even
gosh.
available for purchase. This set me on a hunt trying to find any
Oh,
sort of
he got some
testimonials or
detective work.
reviews from any Aviloop customers.
What'd you find,
But
Nick? What'd you
strangely,
find?
I couldn't find a single one. In fact, the only proof that I could find that anyone actually used the service was an Aviloop patch that I found floating around on eBay. And the only reason that this is at all significant is that these badges were included in most of the offers on the website. But this isn't substantial in any way, shape, or form. And it's clear that the seller wasn't actually a customer and was instead a patch collector that must have somehow obtained it, making me question if anyone actually ever bought something from this website, and if this whole marketplace was really just a ploy. Which takes us back to that lingering theory. Just like the Aviloop channel, the website featured these deal attendants, and just like the channel, they seemed to be the primary focus. Their involvement was plastered all over the website, with the whole business model appearing to hinge on their involvement,
What the
which the site was
fuck?
not afraid to outwardly admit. What is the first thing you look for on our deal pages? We understand. Go ahead, check out our deal attendants. They sure are stunning. Vote for your favorite deal attendant
What
for
the
a chance to
fuck?
win a one-on-one VIP video chat with one of the girls. You will find our models are not only beautiful, but also fun and interesting to talk to.
Oh,
Just
fuck
have
no.
fun. Feel free to bask in the glory of your win, and be the envy of your friends.
What?
After all, not everyone gets to brag about video chatting with supermodels. The process of voting for the best deal attendant was something that they heavily pushed, going as far as to reward one voter each week with the aforementioned private video call. And when discussing these calls, they not so subtly hinted that they weren't just ordinary video chats, writing, "You will be talking to real successful fashion models with exciting backgrounds. Many are big aviation fans, so you will have a lot to talk about. You never know. Vote, win,
Holy
chat.
ominous fucking
never
message.
know."
What?
The allusion to
What?
sex was way more prevalent on the site than even on the channel.
With this line seeming to hint that winning these video calls could entail some sort of sexual encounter with the deal attendant, which only seems to bolster this theory even more. But unlike the channel, here we're at least given a bit more context as to why these women or deal attendants are being used. And according to the site, it wasn't as sinister as it seems. Under the business section, which is used as an FAQ for companies wanting to promote their deals on Aviloop, they wrote, "What is the deal with deal attendants? As a
Remember when you
business,
play
you have
it
the
and I got
option
you,
to
bro.
include a
I'll let you
professional
know, I'll let you
video
know.
of one of our stunning models on your deal page for a flat fee. She will deliver a 30 to 60
Damn, this
second
is all
message describing
Aviloop.
your promotion. Our deal attendants are real professional models who work for high-end clients. Why should I include a deal attendant? Although our promotions get a lot of exposure, adding a deal attendant has the potential of making it viral on social media sites. Promotions that include a video tend to be extra successful." There's a lot to unpack here. For starters, this explains how Aviloop makes their money. They're basically charging companies to run ads using these deal attendants, and the videos on their channel are examples of what these ads would look like. Though calling them professional is extremely generous, and I can't imagine any companies actually wanting to use this service. And given that these are the only videos that they shared, I don't think many, if any, actually did. But in this explanation, Aviloop is all but admitting to using these deal attendants to rope people into visiting their website, over-sexualizing them to lure in perverted internet users, giving them false hope that they'd be able to interact with these women and maybe even sleep with them. And in exchange, these users keep coming back to the site under this false hope, which maybe could lead to them purchasing something. It's an insane business model, and one that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, they're claiming that this is a service for professionals and real aviation fans, for the primary reason of making our skies safer, yet they aren't actually offering anything but the prospect of talking to women. These women are the main and really only draw of the service, and even the deals that they did list seem to contradict the primary goal of this company. I mean, how would a trip to the museum help with aviation safety? And how would a temporary tattoo help with that either? And on the topic of these tattoos, they're also extremely sexual in nature. They were meant to mimic pilot stripes and be put on your shirtless shoulders, with a package reading, "When a uniform just won't do," and the description adding all sorts of innuendos.
And this is a good time to point out just how strange the writing is across the entire website. As here they write,
"What better way to thank a pilot than by saying, 'Captain, you deserve to have your epaulets tattooed. We wish someone had these on board of the Miracle on the Hudson flight. Just imagine the look on the pilot's face if someone handed these to him. So why not keep a pair in your wallet and thank the Sully in your life for the next flight? Every safe landing deserves recognition, and this gift is sure to make their day.'"
everything is written like this. It's not only sexual, it's also nonsensical, and feels like it was written by AI at a time when AI wasn't even a thing.
Facts. That's what I was saying earlier.
Everything
AI
about
wasn't a
Aviloop
thing, bro.
feels wrong. The lack of any tangible goods and services, the overly convoluted business structure, and the lack of any public customers just makes this company appear so fake. But that doesn't inherently mean that they were actually involved in pornography or prostitution. I mean, despite all these innuendos, there is no direct mention of the sale of sex anywhere on the website from what I could see. And unfortunately, much of the website is lost to time, as in 2016 the site would go down, replaced by another random URL, making it impossible to know what this platform was actually like for those who signed up for it. What were they actually being offered? What were they discussing amongst themselves?
You submit a new song,
and
Switch?
what happened on these video calls?
Send
It's
it in the
all
Discord, bro.
unknown, as what I've shown is pretty much all I was able
Send
to
it in the
salvage from the
Discord.
Wayback Machine. However, Aviloop didn't stay down forever. In 2019, Aviloop.com re-emerged, only this time it looked very different. Gone were the deals, the business model, and most importantly, the deal attendants, and in its place was what looked to be a generic template website. They still claimed to offer some of their services, but they were now left even more vague, and there was no attempt to even make it look like you could purchase anything. Even the innuendos were gone. It was quite literally as bare bones as it gets, and comes across like a sham website, void of any notable information. With one exception. There was a single new addition to the site, as at the very bottom you could find a short bio, not of a deal attendant, but of a legitimate pilot named Nadia Marinko.
Oh shit.
The creator of Aviloop. This revelation is huge, as Nadia Marinko was a well-known and extremely successful pilot, which makes Aviloop all the more confusing, as you would think that her involvement in the company would help legitimize it, and make it seem more likely that Aviloop was a real company after all. But instead, it actually did the exact opposite, as her involvement plunges this mystery into a whole new depth, a depth far darker than we've yet to discuss. Born in Czechoslovakia in 1986, Nadia dedicated her younger years to modeling, landing multiple high-profile roles in her country. And by the age of just 15, these roles led to her being moved to the United States to help continue this budding career.
Oh shit.
But by 20, her interest had shifted to a different kind of runway. She became obsessed with flying and had a natural talent for it too, quickly rising through the ranks and gaining certifications faster than most others could at that age. By 25, she was considered extremely accomplished for someone so young, and her resume would soon reach a wider audience when
YouTube's darkest mystery.
she began leveraging social media. She posted videos under the alias Gulfstream Girl, and eventually Global Girl, where she marketed herself as a supermodel turned pilot, which worked to the tune of millions of views.
Hey, nah, fast though. That's good transition, like, good title, good, like, background.
Nadia Marinko was a star in the aviation world and on social media too, and it was during the height of this success that she started Aviloop. It clearly wasn't meant to be some big secret either. She actively promoted it on numerous occasions, doing interviews on podcasts and even taking it to a trade show. If this was a front for something nefarious, she was doing a bad job of keeping it discreet, which seems
Nelly, how are you? What's up?
to back up our first theory. And it would be very easy to settle on that theory and just call it a day. Had being a model and a pilot been all that Nadia was known for.
I'm doing great. How are you? How are you? I'm doing amazing.
You see, there was something that she was hiding from her audience. A secret in the form of
We're
a
watching
bond
YouTube's darkest mystery right now.
with one man, whom she was working closely
And then a
with
little
at
bit
the
we're going
time that
ghost hunting.
Aviloop was launched. A man by the name...
Wait. How did I say your name wrong? How did I say your name wrong? Nelly? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. And listen, she was not talking to you, bro. She was not talking about you. How did I say your name? I'm so sorry. It's been a long day. I've been alive for 5 hours. Oh my fucking god, it's Epstein! Oh wait, hold on. Last E is silent. Wait.
closely with at the time that
It's Nelly, like the last Nell. So is it Nell?
Aviloop was launched. A man by the name...
Wait, she was dating him?
bond with one man...
No.
You see, there was something that she was hiding
No
from her
way.
audience. A secret in the form of a bond with one man, whom
A
she was
bond.
working closely with at the time that
Nell?
Aviloop was
Alright, I'm
launched.
so sorry. I won't get it wrong.
A
yet.
man by the name...
I would date Epstein too. Yo, shut up, let's switch. Oh, fuck, no.
of Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Epstein has been arrested on new sex trafficking charges. Charges of soliciting and
This aviation shit was dead ass like 100% a trafficking website.
procuring
What?
minors for prostitution.
He was
Oh,
involved
no.
in trafficking young
Oh,
women
hell no.
and children over to Little St. James.
In case you're somehow unaware, Jeffrey Epstein is the most prolific pedophile and human trafficker maybe of all time. He
Is
carried
that
out a
true?
large-scale human trafficking operation, bringing children to his private island that he and other elites exploited
Oh,
in
fuck
horrific
no.
ways.
Oh, hell no.
It's one of the biggest news stories of my lifetime, and over the past years, there's been so much talk surrounding the acquaintances of Epstein.
Oh, hell
Who was connected
no.
with him, and how close were
Trump.
they? But of all these people in
Elon.
Epstein's circle, few, if any, were closer to him than Nadia Marengo.
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
It's a difficult subject to discuss, but Nadia is considered one of Epstein's victims. He found her through her
No trolling shit. I got my headphones and bro, I'm dead. I seen Epstein in my closet. Yo, shut up, bro.
modeling job when she
Oh Lord, help me! I would cry and kill myself if I had to deal with him. Yo, SPD, I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much.
You are more than I love myself.
Wait, this poor woman, bro. Why is she with
You
Epstein?
all mean the world to
No.
me.
She probably got manipulated or
was
some
just a
shit.
teenager, and she didn't just come to the United States for work. Epstein himself brought her.
No. Yo, let's switch. Keep saying that. I'm dead. I'm timing you out, bro. Chill with it. He brought her. Epstein brought her when she was a minor, when she was underage.
After
When she was
allegedly
15. When she was 15 to go to the U.S. to model.
Purchasing her from her father.
Purchased her what?
What followed was Nadia becoming his
Sex slave. Oh my gosh, no.
self-described sex slave.
Oh no.
It's a horrible and unimaginable fate.
No.
But while Nadia appeared to have been a victim of Epstein, that wasn't all she was, as after becoming an adult, she also became Epstein's accomplice.
Oh my gosh.
When
I
Epstein
feel
was
bad for
first
this poor
investigated by the
girl,
FBI
bro.
back in the 2000s, many of his victims came forward and claimed that Nadia was not only present for their abuse, but she was a willing participant.
What?
There to satisfy Epstein's criminal sexual desires by, on occasion, directly participating in sex abuse and prostitution of the minor girls.
Bro, this took
Epstein was
a
eventually-
way darker term than I thought, bro. First of all, like some aviation, like I thought it was like prostitutes. Now this is dead as like Epstein demonic. Yeah, he ate little kids. Like this is some demonic
given a
shit
sweetheart
now.
deal for these crimes in 2008, which led to him serving just 13 months in prison.
Newborns,
and as
I
part of
know.
that deal, Nadia was given complete immunity, meaning she never faced any
Dude.
sort of repercussions for her
What?
abuse of children.
Is she still alive?
But despite being a free woman by the time that Epstein was thrown in jail, she stood by his side, living in his New York City home, waiting for his release. And while he was behind bars, Nadia would visit him roughly 70 times. These two were deeply
Do you have
connected,
BO7? I don't.
even well after she was his slave.
Oh my
With Nadia
gosh.
even making a
Lock
scrapbook
her
for
up.
Epstein, which is just so terrifying that I had to at least mention it in this video.
What is he watching in? YouTube's Darkest Mystery. This like famous pilot girl was like a supermodel, and Epstein ended up buying her, and like now, and she's like as fucked up as Epstein, bro. She was like, and then maybe 16, 15-year-old when Christian clothes, this girl would always pray, yo, what? Oh hell no. I keep happening. I'm so lost. So this like aviation thing, it looked sketchy. Like people thought it was prostitutes, but the owner of it is like a famous pilot model girl. And Epstein ended up purchasing her and moving her to the U.S. when he was 15 to model. So she was his sex slave.
It would
So
be
now it's
several
like
years
Epstein
later in
stuff.
2012, a time when Nadia had long since left Epstein's home and his control, that Nadia
gosh.
would rejoin his operation.
What?
This time with a brand new role. She became one of Epstein's pilots, taking victims and perpetrators alike
fuck
to and
no.
from the island.
Oh hell
On the
no.
plane they dubbed the Lolita Express.
Oh hell no.
What happened on the Lolita Express?
What's her name?
Everything that happened on the Lolita Express.
Nadia Aura. That is not Aura Corbs. Not what's her name? Nadia. She's still alive? Loaded as war with the feds in exchange of U.S. visa. What? The background music scary as fuck with headphones on. This video is scary.
And his other planes was the same thing that happened in his bedrooms and the massage rooms.
Oh
the
my-
abuse did not stop because we're in the air. Jeffrey couldn't take a 2-hour flight without having to ejaculate. Like,
What?
that's how sick this man was.
He couldn't beat his shit for less than 2 hours a day on a flight? Oh, hell no. Oh, thank God this motherfucker is dead. He better be dead. If not, Epstein, I'm gonna find you and kill you myself. What am I dead?
Nadia Marengo was
Damn, he's
directly
just like
trafficking
me. Yo,
children for
chill,
Epstein,
chill.
and she
We
was
can't be
doing
joking
this
about
in
this.
2012, mere months after she started Aviloop. Which brings us to our third and
Oh
most
my
upsetting theory.
gosh, he was dead ass looking for victims.
That Aviloop wasn't a cover for prostitution, but rather a front for child trafficking and pedophilia. Nadia's involvement alone and the timing of the company's launch, mixed with all the innuendos, the red flags, it all starts to make sense. And it's made even more disturbing when you look at the videos they posted on YouTube. As one thing I failed to mention so far is just how young these deal attendants look. There's obviously no way to conclusively determine their age from the footage, but some believe that they look to be teenagers and maybe even underaged, which would make sense for this theory, as the deal attendants wouldn't be prostitutes, but rather child victims.
That'd be fucking strange, bro. What the fuck? I thought this was about to be some like horror stuff, not pedophilia.
It's a theory that has to be considered. I
It's
mean,
like
as
worse
crazy
than
as it
horror.
seems, Aviloop was quite literally founded and run by a child trafficker who was actively trafficking children when the company started.
And Nadia wasn't the only sketchy character involved in the site behind the scenes.
Epstein himself was as well. The two frequently emailed each other, and in multiple instances, Aviloop was discussed, with Epstein frequently giving her advice. In one email, he wrote to her, "Website is cool, mix of porn, Groupon, and flying. The marketing campaign could be, buy with us, we give a flying fuck." His mentioning of
Yo, he's so freaked out.
porn here is just more confirmation that Aviloop wasn't
No,
just
100%
an aviation company. But this also shows that
a
Epstein was
porn
helping with the
shit.
company, and he wasn't just doing this through friendly advice. Throughout his emails, you can also find dozens of receipts
Please wire not a 50K either to Aviloop or to where directed by her.
from transactions with
Can we watch
Aviloop,
something else to make me
totaling
uncomfortable? Hold
hundreds
on,
of
we're
thousands
almost
of
done. We got
dollars
less
of
than- we got 9
payments sent
minutes left.
directly to the company.
What did I join to, bruv? Holy fucking chopped. We're watching YouTube's Darkest Mystery. We're almost done. We got 9
Jeffrey
minutes left. I'm
Epstein
sorry.
was an investor in Aviloop, and a big one too. And he seemed
I
to
did not
believe in
know
the
Epstein was about
service
to
so
pop
much
up.
that he even appeared to use it himself, as emails show him inquiring about booking flights through the company. Nadia at one point even offered to help Epstein through Aviloop, writing,
What the fuck?
"Is there anything I can do for you? I can find a deal."
Yes, dude, no, 100%. That's very sweet thing. I'm just not allowed to leave the country for the next 15 days until my visa is approved. Is that why she like went to the feds?
through Aviloop on anything you want.
How is she not locked up?
Cheapest charters, discounted
Dead ass
fuel,
though. How is she not
or a
locked
new
up or
model
dead?
/ assistant.
She's literally
No!
offering Jeffrey Epstein a model through Aviloop,
No!
which more than hints at this theory being possible. I mean, she spells it out.
And if they were in fact trafficking children through this service, this could give us a
No.
blueprint to how they were able to get their victims. Maybe they were finding models and having them fly out under the assumption that modeling is all they would be doing. Maybe
Oh
these
my
videos were even their
gosh, bro.
tryouts for their roles,
Modeling's
which they
scary.
did without even realizing what was to come. I mean, these women were referred to as models on the Aviloop website.
Did you know? Yeah, I've done that
And
before on
remember,
stream. a few
modeling is
months ago.
exactly how
All
Epstein
the
found Nadia.
emails and shit.
And it's also how he found so many other victims,
Yeah.
as he was known to use the modeling industry as
Well,
a
you know damn well they're hiding shit. You know damn well not everything's on that.
means of recruiting
Like
young
what?
and underage women, offering them high-paying jobs and potentially career-making opportunities in order to
Roach
lure
Files
them
review
in.
Epstein ties to fashion industry.
So maybe this was all part of the operation, or maybe Nadia was simply taking a page from his book and using the same style of entrapment that he used on her.
Oh my god.
It's so disturbing to even.
You know what's sad? She probably would have never ended up like this if she never got trafficked and manipulated. Because you know damn well that shit fucked her up so bad, and that's like all she knew. Trump for sure. Oh my gosh, yes, Trump's on that. What?
Consider. And there's one more
That was his
email that I
bestie.
believe is the most disturbing of all, that could allude to their alleged trafficking. An email with the subject line, "Old Terry Coconuts. I ordered sweet young coconuts from Thailand for you, and they just arrived. Very yummy.
That is suspicious as fuck. Who says I ordered very young coconuts? They sent kids, okay? They sent her fucking kid. They sent kids to him. No. Who says young coconuts? No one ever fucking says that when talking about food. Young? Are we serious?
I was going to ship them
About to go live
to
at the
you in
beach?
Paris, but
Oh
I hear
shit,
you
you
are
at the
coming
beach?
back,
You in the
so I will
IRL?
send them to 71st with Sarah,
They're saying coochies? No, they're not. They're saying kids.
just so you don't have to drink
That's why they say pizza all the time. Just talking about children. Pizza's like a code word for pizza.
juices from Old Terry things.
Well, pizza's like code word for CP.
Epstein
and
was
underage people.
notorious for using code words in his
Dude, are
messages.
you in the IRL?
And it's not hard to see what Nadia may have meant by sweet young coconuts. So was it a joke or was it a coded message? It's hard to say. But this email was sent on November 13th, 2011.
Oh my
just
gosh.
2 months after the launch of Aviloop.
Alright, but I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna hop in
Welcome
there
to
for a little bit.
Aviloop,
I'll say what's up.
your collective buying website for anything aviation.
So what was Aviloop? Well, to this day, we still don't have a true answer, but everyone has their theories, and most of them are not good. Many legitimately believe that Aviloop was a front for child trafficking, and I can see why. The connections and the strange material on the website and the channel make this impossible to...
They're not gonna... They said hairy young coconuts. Because they're not gonna... This is their code word, so it's not suspicious. If they just said young coconuts, they'd be like, what the fuck? It's obviously coochie. It's probably coochie and kids.
Right off as just some crazy conspiracy theory. And if this theory were to be believed, it makes the Aviloop YouTube channel that much more disturbing.
It's probably both.
As these videos would be advertisements
because they wouldn't say young, they would just
for
say
a
hairy.
human trafficking service that potentially included the victims as the stars.
It's also possible that this was a hub for prostitution. And while sex work doesn't always mean human trafficking, just given the players involved, that would definitely still be a concern. There's also still the possibility that Aviloop was secretly a porn website, like Epstein seemed to suggest in his email, with this content perhaps occurring on those one-on-one video calls. And there was one email that I found that was sent from Epstein's assistant, Story Cowles, that makes this feel even more believable, as Epstein asks him what he was up to which Story responds, "Just playing online at Aviloop. Pouring rain. Love it, love it." The way these people communicate is just so weird and hard to decipher, but playing online at Aviloop certainly seems to suggest that this wasn't just a typical dating deals website. And if porn really was the draw, I think given the secrecy of it and the people connected, I would still be very concerned about where they were getting these actresses, and if they were even of age. Nadia's legal team has pushed back on these theories, claiming she was merely Epstein's victim and nothing more. And someone who allegedly worked at Aviloop claimed that the ad campaign was merely meant to be provocative. And that's all. This just feels so hard to believe. And regardless of which, if any of these theories are true, it seems so obvious to me that Aviloop was never meant to just be a normal company. I even question if perhaps Nadia had created Aviloop as a fake website, which Epstein could then funnel money into in order to make it look like Nadia was earning legitimate income, something that she needed to prove in order to get her US visa, which her emails to Epstein show she was clearly struggling with. And she seemed to allude to this at least being part of her reasoning for creating Aviloop in the first place, and part of the reason why she was asking Epstein for money. And ultimately, the only way she ended up getting that visa was through a deal.
I'm kidding. Oh, what the fuck? I was yo, thank you for the compliment, but never mind.
That she made with the FBI that involved her informing them on Epstein's crimes.
I keep hearing someone breaking in, but I know no one.
Her work directly helped.
Nah, someone might be breaking in because I don't hear any glass. Or you might.
His 2019
you might be
arrest,
fucked, buddy.
And his ultimate death inside his jail cell that same year. And it was around the same time that Aviloop went back online with its fresh, scrubbed look, void of anything even close to being sexual. And since then, it's never been updated again. And there's hardly been any updates from Nadia herself either. She made a brief appearance in a 2019 YouTube video where she pulled a prank on a flying instructor, acting as an inexperienced student, only to surprise the instructor with how skilled she was, with Nadia going as far as to dress as a child. But since then, her trail goes pretty much cold, and once the Epstein files started releasing around 2024, she disappeared from the public eye. Bizarrely, from that point on, the only trace of her seems to have come from images and videos from a monastery, which she seems to have joined.
What's that?
Nadia Mariko's work with the FBI and the immunity that she was given all those years ago makes it feel unlikely that she'll ever be prosecuted, or even investigated for whatever this whole operation was.
Well, yeah, look at her as,
the reality, though, is that
victim.
We don't know the full truth about Aviloop, and it's involved in one of the most twisted and deep rabbit holes in human history. A rabbit hole filled with so many layers and cover-ups and corruption that I just hope that somewhere within all of it, we can eventually find an answer to the question, what was Aviloop?
That's a good fucking question. This is a good video, man. This is genuinely a really good video.
Till then, it will remain one of the darkest mysteries, not only on YouTube, but across the entire...
But dead ass, like, this is some fucked up conspiracy type shit. Like, what?
Or internet.
What? Hey, man, W video.
Lord, make it come my way.